All right, let's jump into tonight's video, Tuesday, June 27th. I encourage every one of you to, watch the whole thing, because again, you'll learn a lot, even if you're not, making successful trades based off the meme stock watch forecast to start. Let's say you just joined, you're just learning our system, etc. Give it time, because eventually things will start to click. So I want to go over with you guys real quick recap of the past couple of days events, and just explaining how easy, per se, it was to make money off this move today. So we go to the dashboard. If we look at the SPY updates, just hang tight for 1 second. All right, so let's look at the weekly forecast. My view on SPY this week is a possible dip to start the week, but upside from there. My reasoning comes from the newfound purchasing support found in the hedging heat map. Then we explained why when people buy puts expecting a move down, it actually provides stabilizing purchasing support in the market, thus defeating the purpose of buying said puts in the first place. Pretty ironic, isn't? So with this being said, here was the plan going into the week. I'm looking to buy dips. I'm looking to dip by SPY at the daily trigger for a push higher. When price drifts between the hourly trigger and the daily trigger, I'm not interested in trading it, as the signals aren't clear. My only 3 trades I'm willing to take are as follows. Price moves above the hourly trigger, currently at 435.37. Price moves down to the daily trigger, where I'm expecting it to catch strong support and form a macro airplane to the upside, possible pushing for new highs in SPY, or daily LDPM moves below price. Now, one thing I will regret is that I should have said hourly LDPM moves back below price, because hourly LDPM is also a really strong signal. So this was on me. This is my fault. Now let's go in, and again, anything below the hourly trigger was in the do not touch zone, and if price got down to the major buy zone, the daily trigger, that's where I wanted to long. So here's what happened on Monday. Here was Monday's trading. This was the dip to start the week. As as quoted, possible dip to start the week, but upside from there. Now, when SPY made this dip, it fell right into all of that purchasing support that was created due to big market participants buying puts, scared of further downside. Now, I did say I'd go long above the hourly trigger. Price broke above the hourly trigger at 432. So there was a nice trade higher, and we also had the levels on board. I don't think they're on this chart. Maybe they're here. No difference. 434.34 was a big level. As soon as price got an hourly close above, it moved up to the next one. I think it's here, so I'll bring it on here. But let me show you guys the power of LDPM. So LDPM running average, and we'll start at the 1 hour. All right. Look what happens in the beginning of the day. Morning, right? Gapped up a little bit today. Hourly LDPM goes right below price. When hourly LDPM goes below price, it's telling you that liquidity is now good in the markets, and you have to expect upside. Sure enough, the entire day, every single hour was green up until the last hour. Every single hour. Now, 1 hour is great if you're swinging longer term contracts, if you're not worried about the 5-minute, the 15-minute, just watching 1 hour LDPM. As long as it's below price, you're long, and if it moves back above price, you cut the position. You go down to the 30-minute LDPM. Market opened, LDPM was above price the entire day, all the way until the end. Super, super simple trading. Literally, it doesn't get easier than this. Even go down to the 15-minute LDPM, and market opened. You had a little bit of a dip here, but LDPM realistically stayed below price the entire day, again, up until the last 15 minutes. When I'm trading, like I said on the weekly forecast, where did I say it? Here. As long as none of these three things happen, instead of building a long-term position in SPY, I will instead be focused on scalping lower dated calls puts using the LDPM scanner on the 15-minute time frame. So again, 15-minute time frame turns bullet in this area between the hourly and the daily trigger is very hard to give a forecast, very hard to give direction, because there's no real telling where it's going to go. It's either going to come down to the daily trigger, or it'll turn before that and push back above the hourly trigger, or push to the hourly trigger and come back down. Very tough to say where price is going to go during this area, so I don't build long-term positions here. I build a long-term long position. If price comes down here and it's my major buy zone, then I'd buy long-term longs, and if price breaks above the hourly trigger, obviously I would also buy longer-term longs. Be willing to cut them as soon as price moves back below the hourly trigger, or if we see LDPM start turning bearish up here, or if the data starts turning bearish. So if you get into the scanner, right, this is SPY today. All right, these are the triggers on the top, and this is the scanner. So this is on the 1 hour time frame. Notice how market opened and everything had bullish LDPM, meaning this purple line that we showed on the 1 hour not just moved down below price on SPY, but moved down below everywhere on SPY, QQQ, GME, AMD, Amazon, Google, Apple, Netflix, Nvidia, Baba, Meta, IWM, big movers, all big movers in the market. And so, as soon as that happens, it's a pretty strong long signal. Now, if we change this, if we go down to the 30-minute, for example. So here was market open. Again, 30-minute LDPM turned bullish on nearly every stock at market open. Nearly all the big movers. Go down to the 15-minute. And again, see the same thing. All of these guys turn bullish. Now, if you're trading the 15-minute, you're scalping ODTs, which I like to do sometimes, many times, because that's a lot of fun, actually. Then, there's some fake outs, like you'll get faked out a bit. It'll be not as, I wouldn't say more choppier trading, but you'll be prone to more fake outs than if you're trading on the 1 hour. But, turn bullish here, and you had a bunch of red dots here, got that little dip down. But during that dip, got a couple of green dots again, most importantly on SPY and QQQ on the top two. And then QQQ turned, QQQ had a little choppiness here, but SPY, 15-minute LDPM was green from here all the way through the entire day. And you guys could also see 1-minute trigger was on top of the 5-minute trigger the entire day. What price broke through the hourly trigger, 1-minute trigger broke through, 5-minute trigger broke through. All three of those are bullish findings, and price continued higher. So LDPM scanner is literally a fantastic tool to trading, while price is in between this range where we don't have a solid thesis on where direction is going to go. That being said, once price broke above the hourly trigger, there was obviously a nice long opportunity there. And then, the levels that we had here, wrong chart again. Where do I have them? Hold on. Wow, it's so strange. Oh, I know where they are. They're here. Here we go. So I posted this chart earlier. I said if the 4-hour close closes above 434.34, which it did, or even you got to close before that. You got the half-hour close, the 12:30 close. Any half-hour close or hourly close above 434.34, we said is going to bring 436.32. Sure enough, quite the easy scalp. So even if didn't get the opportunity down here, price breaking above the hourly trigger and then getting a bullish half-hour close, 12:30 New York time, above this 434.34 level usually means price is going to continue up to the next level, which was 436.32, where it then failed. So the midday update, SPY update, if the 4-hour close is above 434.34, those that are members for longer know that you could even go with a bullish half-hour close, just not as strong of a signal. It's possible that the market bottomed this morning and could set up a trade to 436.32. That purchasing support discussed earlier this week is definitely in effect today. Sure enough, that's where price went. SPY broke above the hourly trigger today, signaling upside, and is now nearing the upper bound level mentioned in the last update. Watch out for rejection here, but if the hourly candle closes above, then we should see continuation to the next level. But good odds it stops here. So again, very simple. Just have all the levels on your chart when you're trading. Hourly close above, get long. Hourly close below, don't get long. Pretty simple. Now, again, the 1 p.m. close was right here, still above this level, showing continuation. So there was a lot of trades, but also, again, LDPM is just obviously easily the best at this. Like you could see when you get, especially on the 1 hour, you're trading with just LDPM on the 1 hour, it's super easy to see these moves coming. Just like this downside was pretty easy based on LDPM being above price for the entire downside. So that's what I have to say about, what happened already on SPY. If I get into the update, want to show you guys because this is really cool actually. There was a ton of sold puts on SPY and QQQ, a ton. As you guys know, sold puts force positive delta hedging, positive dealer hedging, where the dealers buy shares when sold puts enter the market. Now, we don't see the report till after market, but if LDPM, when dealers are forced to purchase shares, then dealers are slapping the ask essentially. They're moving up to the ask because they're buying shares, trying to buy shares. When the bid is aggressively fighting the ask, then LDPM will be bullish because liquidity is good. And when liquidity is good, price is moving higher. When the ask is stepping down to the bid and aggressively hitting the bid, then liquidity is bad. And then LDPM would move above price. So instead of watching level 2 order books or watching order flow, none of that matters. When you see like unusual whale, whatever, like calls come in, puts come in, if it has any significance, if it's causing any kind of hedging in the market where dealers have to either sell or purchase shares, that's why big moves happen after large amounts of calls or puts enter the market, then LDPM will tell you immediately. If it's not that important, then LDPM 5-minute will turn bullish. If it's more important, 15. If it's even more important, hourly. If it's even more important, daily. But LDPM will always tell you first, which is why this is my favorite indicator ever, and I think it's a must-have for all retail investors. That being said, the data for tonight, let's jump into it, and you guys will also be able to look at it soon. So I want you to take a look at this. Now, it's really, really hard to give a forecast moving forward here because VOEX, moved back into the propagation zone and bounced higher, just like here, just like here, just like here, just like here, which were all subsequently followed by a nice rally to the upside. However, none of these have what's here, which is VOEX trend, the gold line, also very important, moved into the inhibition zone and moved back into the stability zone. That is inherently bearish by nature. That's divergence coming to fruition. VOEX is also currently getting really, really spiky and erratic. So you can see this huge move down on VOEX, pop right back up. You don't really see that here. You don't really see that here at all. VOEX moving down to the inhibition zone like this, straight down, and then pushing right higher. Like, we haven't seen that, at least not this year, on SPY at all. So there's definitely erratic behavior here, and it does have me a little nervous, all right, saying that there's not good stability in the market right now. So again, for me personally, I told you guys this in last video as well, but more than likely this is a wave 4. And it's so difficult to say if the wave 4 is going to come down to the daily trigger before we push up to a higher high over here, if we're going to come down to the daily trigger, crack below it, and the hourly trigger will cross down below the daily trigger and move back down to the weekly trigger, or if now that price pushed back up above the hourly trigger, now we're going to go wave 5 and put in a higher high from here. It's super, super difficult. And so, normally when things are a little easier, which is everywhere before this, it's way easier to just say, okay, this is the direction that I think we're going. But here, there's too much uncertainty. My plan is just to keep trading this using hourly LDPM. If I had to make a guess, and I really mean a guess, I really don't know. I'm telling you guys, I was looking at this for 4 hours today. Since market closed, I've been on the phone with Justin, with Conway, with Gavin, trying to figure out if I could try to give an accurate forecast. Price is going to continue up higher now. Price is going to dip down to the daily trigger, or price is going to break through. For now, my main 2 options are either the bottom's in here, or price is going to move down to the daily trigger before I push higher. But I don't think we're coming down here anytime soon. All right, so longer term forecast, I really don't think we're coming down here. However, trying to take it in a more day-by-day area this week is going exactly as we expected. Dips should be bought up and, have a bullish outlook for now, but longer term, VOEX is acting wonky and we might head back down. So a rule that I like to use is, long above the hourly trigger, flat below. I'm not gonna bite yet on loading up on some longs here until I see a little more confirmation. So, that's where I stand. Now, go back to the SPY report for a second. Heat map, again, looks really wonky. Can't really get much from there. And of course, there's a huge amount of sold puts today. So SPY moved up, $4.73 today. And it had a lot of sold puts, but these sold puts came in the morning and they were being hedged throughout the day. That's why LDPM was so bullish throughout the day. If we go to QQQ, it's pretty much the exact same thing. VOX getting all wonky. VOX trend moved back into the stability, which is inherently a bearish longer-term sign. Looks like there's selling pressure above on QQQ, so this is a little useful. But again, that same purchasing support that that we talked about throughout this week, if price moves down, there is purchasing support to catch it. But again, 968% increase in sold puts, huge bullish positioning. And that's why QQQ moved up $6.14. If we look at QQQ, as soon as the sold puts came in, hourly LDPM told us before we read the report later at night. So, LDPM was your first indicator. When hourly LDPM moves below price, it's not just saying, oh, liquidity is good. Just like when we see sold puts, we know price is going to go up shortly. LDPM tells you as it's happening. All right. So again, if LDPM turns bearish tomorrow, earlier in the morning, I'll post an update here. And then again, there's risk down to the major buy zone. That's all I would say. I would say it's okay to be bullish, but there's risk down to here before possible higher, putting in a new high than here. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about the video, always feel free to reach out via DM, Discord, Twitter. Doesn't matter to me. I enjoy your guys' questions. I appreciate the feedback. And this is where I currently stand. Again, use Gavin's level as well. Use Gavin's levels as well to try to help out. This was Sunday's forecast, expecting any dips in the market early this week to be bought up quickly due to newfound purchasing support. Where was I going to go? Oh yeah, so EWF, which is LDPM forecast. So I took a look at this today, and they seem to think that the bottom is in, and now we're putting in that higher high than here. So if that helps any of you bulls feed your bias, I'll just be watching LDPM. The LDPM moves back above price. Fair enough to say there's a good chance we're coming back down here. If price could continue higher and LDPM turns away from price, then above 366 QQQ, more than likely is going to bring like 370 at least. SPY, see if I have the levels here. SPY, any move, if the hourly close tomorrow closes above 436.32 at 10, then we can expect here. And then if there's an hourly close above 437.60, expect 438.13. Again, etc. all the way to 439. But if price breaks above 439, we can expect much higher levels. Yellow zones are, these two aren't meant to be yellow, but the yellow zones are the big ones. All right, guys, good luck.